Good evening, all the trainees in the house. I stand here to welcome you all to this second day training class on soap production. Our topic today is dilution of chemicals. Dilution of chemicals and how to determine its potency, and also the color matching. You can see the colors here, and you can see the chemicals here. Now, before we start, we have two major chemicals that requires determination of its potency for soap production. These two major chemicals are, one, you can see it, caustic soda, and the second one is the soda ash. Remember, in case you want to buy this chemical in the market, this is called caustic soda. It has a chemical name, sodium hydroxide, while soda ash has a chemical name, sodium carbonate. So either you tell them you want to buy soda ash, or to say you want to buy sodium carbonate. Likewise, it's also applicable on this caustic soda. Either you want to buy sodium hydroxide or caustic soda. You can get it in bags or buy in kg. Now, while production, you can measure any quantity you want using a scale. We have two types of scale. This one now measures in kg, but if you are working on a small production, you source for a gram scale, the one that measures in grams. Let us start. How do we dilute these chemicals to get its potency? We can start with caustic, but before I pour it on this measuring cylinder, you can see this measuring cylinder. It is 500 ml measuring cylinder, that is half liter. Because of this small quantity, we are working on mils. So if you are working on a large scale production, you make use of liters, but because of this small scale, we are making use of a measuring cylinder, which is 500 ml. Now, if you are measuring the quantity of color in terms of production, we make use of a syringe. This is 10 ml syringe, but this one now is by the way because we have never getting to that point. Now, I want to show you people clearly how to measure the potency of these chemicals. This one is also a beaker, 1000 ml beaker. This measurement is equal to 1 liter, while this 500 is half liter. Now let's go into details on how to measure the potency. Before I take you people into this detail, you need to know this apparatus. You can see very clearly. This is hydrometer gauge. It is used to measure the potency of these two chemicals. This one now ranges from 1000 to 1300, and the standard range for these two chemicals are 1250, between 1250 to 1260. Any of this range is good for soap production, and when the range goes up above 1250, the soap will be watery. You cannot bring foam, neither can you use it to wash. And when it exceeds 1260 or 1275, it may be dangerous because it will attack your hand. That is why sometimes when you use a soap to wash a clothes, it will attack your hand. That is why to tell you that the potency of the chemical they use is above the standard range. Now, let me take you people into details. This is caustic soda. You make use of a funnel, but I don't have funnel here. I would have to pour it direct. You can see this is dangerous chemical. It has attacked this plastic. You now pour it on this measuring cylinder. You can see what I'm doing now. It has not gotten to 500 ml point, so I have to pour more. Be careful while putting it. Now I decided to add it up to this point so that you can see clearly the gauge. This is how we test the potency. You now add it. You can see the mark. We normally measure the lower meniscus, the lower point of this. When you wash it, you see the point here, 1250. That is to tell you that the potency is normal for production of solid or bar soap. Now, you may ask yourself, how do I get to this point? Before I get to this point, the sodium hydroxide, which is caustic soda, is always diluted in a ratio of 1:2. What do I mean by 1:2? 1 cup or 1 kg of sodium hydroxide, which is caustic soda, to 2 cups of water. And you add water before putting sodium hydroxide. Don't add sodium hydroxide or caustic soda before adding water. It is dangerous. You put water first before you add sodium hydroxide. At any point you add, you now stir with a paddle or a plastic material. You now turn it to stir it very well. And while turning it, you will be experiencing some fumes because it is always hot. Now, when you add it, you stir until you get to the point. Maybe you add 1 cup, 2 cups of water, and you bring 1 cup of caustic soda. You add it and stir it. After the mixing, you now leave it. You ferment it for 24 hours. That is 1 day. And after adding it, the color will be making, and the thing will be very hot. It will be bringing out some fumes. It will be very hot. But after 24 hours, the mixture will be clear. You can see this one now. Now, for you to test the potency, you now add it in a plastic or a glass jar like this. Now, using a measuring cylinder. When you add it, you now immerse this hydrometer on top of it. It does not mean that it will give you exactly 1250. It may give you 1300 to tell you that the mixture is very high. You can now control it by adding small quantity of water. When you add more water, the thing will be coming down until it gets to this point, 1250 or 1260. But if the mixture is watery, you can now increase the potency by adding more salt on it. Like this one now is 1250. If I add this salt and stir it now, it will come up to tell you that I'm increasing the potency. This is where I stop on sodium hydroxide, which is caustic soda. Let me take you people to soda ash. But before I go to this soda ash, there's something I want to tell you people about this caustic soda. This caustic soda comes in 2 forms. It can either be in pairs or in flakes. The example of the one I have here now is caustic soda pairs. It resembles salt, but the one that is in flakes is in larger quantity. It comes in lumps like this. But both of them are caustic soda. In case if you go to the market and say you want to buy caustic soda, you may see the ones that are in pairs like this or the ones that are in flakes. That is the thing. Now on soda ash also, the same thing is applicable. Soda ash is in form of salt, no powder. It is mainly used to reduce the production cost, and also it's an effective stain remover. Soda ash, remember the chemical name is sodium carbonate. You still add water and pick some salt or soda ash and be turning it. The ratio is also in the mixture of 1:2. That is 1 cup or 1 kg of soda ash to 2 cups of water. After stirring it, you need to ferment it 24 hours, the same way you did on the caustic soda. And after that 24 hours, you now test the potency. While testing the potency, if the range is high, you add more water to bring it up to 1250. But if it is low, you add more soda ash to balance it. This is where I will stop on dilution of chemicals. Now let's go back to color. Now this color doesn't require potency. It is a color determinant of any soap. And remember, what makes soap attractive is fragrance and also color. Some people like orange color, some like white, some like blue, some like brown, while some may like green. All these soaps will be the same, but what varies is the color. Color is a choice. Now, how do we dilute this color? You measure. Let us start with orange color. You measure out 50 ml. Now we need to go into color. Like I said, the next stage now is the color mechanism, stroke matching. And if you look now, you can see different colors. Like I told you people earlier, that we are in this online practical journey, we are going to be dealing with 5 major colors, because one of the things that makes soap sample attractive is its major color, is its color. And people should know that color is a choice. Some people may be attracted on a green color, some on orange color, some on white color, some on brown and blue color respectively. Now let us start with a white color. In the preparation of white color, what you need is to add 50 ml of palm kernel oil on a measuring cylinder. You can see it. This is the 50 ml. So whatever oil you are going to add will stop at this point. Watch me as I do it. This is 50 ml of palm kernel oil. You now pour it on this container. It is already labeled or tagged white color. Have you seen it? Now the next is 2 spoons of titanium dioxide. This is a white powder and the major color determinant for every white soap. We may have others, but I decided to use this. Now measure 2 flat spoons of this white salt inside. 1. The second one is okay. The next thing is to use a stirrer and stir it. Stir it very well to have a homogeneous mixture. Have you seen it? This is a white color. So whatever white soap you are producing will be based on this. We are coming to that stage. What you need to do whenever it requires the color, you now add the required ml with a syringe. Maybe you want to collect 2 ml of this color. You now use this syringe and draw it. We are now through with white color. The same is applicable on this brown. You can see it very clearly. This is brown color. You now pour 2 spoons of brown. Depending on the quantity you are producing, you still collect it on that oil and stir it. That is what we do to get this brown color. It is applicable on blue, green, and green. We are through. This is the 5 major colors: green, orange, white, brown, and blue. Let me do the same on this orange. Okay, we have already gotten the orange color. For you to produce this orange color, you now measure 50 mils, that is 50 milligram of PKO. You measure it the same way I did on white. At this point, you now pour it here. After pouring it, you measure out 1 flat spoon of orange and add it. You have gotten orange color for production. Now, whatever orange color soap you are producing, you need to use syringe and draw it, either 1 ml, 2 ml, depending the quantity. It's also applicable on the green and the blue. I've mentioned it before. Still on color, let us dilute or dissolve blue color so that you can see it. You still measure out 50 ml. Of palm kernel oil and pour it on this container. This container is already tagged blue. That is to tell you that it is meant for blue color. You use of another spoon. I just want to use this, but you still make use of another spoon so that this white color cannot contaminate it. This is another spoon. You measure out 1 full spoon again and add and turn it. You can see this blue color. Then this blue 50 ml of PKO goes with 1 spoon for blue color. It is also applicable on orange. The one that is different is the white color. You add 2 spoons. This thing is also applicable on green. So now you can now dilute your color, either orange, brown, white, or blue. And this is our end topic on color dissolution.